Hey everyone, I'm Lynn Vartan and I am here at Steve Weiss Music, and today we are going to unbox a Marimba One Izzy marimba. Okay, so here's how it comes out of the big box. You've got 6 parts here, and if you got the cases that come with it, which, oh my gosh, you have to get the cases because otherwise you're doing packing blankets and everything. The cases are amazing and we'll get into that later. But it comes in 6 parts. Usually it's the 2 big ones of the resonators, you've got the bass end frame, and then the bar cases, and then back here the rail case. So we're gonna unpack all these and you can get some tips and tricks from me on the absolute best way to do it and some of my special things that I like to do. Okay, so one of the things that I like to do with everything is to plan, and that includes what I do with Marimba One when I'm opening it up. So we're gonna open this all up, and one of the first things that I think is a great tip is to make sure that you minimize your movement. So set up everything in the footprint like the marimba is going to be there. That way you're not moving cases all around and moving things all around. You wanna get it all just laid out in the footprint so you have the least amount of moving as possible. No running around the room. Okay, you definitely can do it on your own for sure, but today I have Matt here from Steve Weiss and he's gonna help me out. So come on, Matt, let's do it. Okay, so this is my pro tip 1. This is how I like to set everything up. If I've got the time and the space to do it, I like to put my treble case over here, bass case over here, chromatic resonators, diatonic resonators, chromatic bars, diatonic bars, and last but not least, the rails and the part of the frame over here for easy access. Pro tip number 2. We all know that it takes a minute to figure out which bars and which resonators go where. So sure, you can do that and tell your people that are helping you which one's which and all that, but the easiest way that I found is to identify your cases. So what I like to do is to identify my chromatic resonator case with something, with a scarf or with a kerchief or something like that, or better yet, if you go to the cool Steve Weiss Festival and you get your Pisces lanyard, you can just attach your Pisces lanyard onto the strap, and then you always know which one is your chromatic one. And then if anybody's helping you, it's easy to explain it rather than telling them how it all works and everything like that. So those are a couple tips as we get started. Okay, bars are all laid out. The next step is to put the frame together. This is an Izzy frame, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bass end, the treble end, we're gonna get the parts that connect them from inside the rail case, and we're gonna put them together. Okay, so the frame is together and the resonators are on. What you just saw is the way that I really like to do the resonators, which is to get them close to the instrument, get them up vertically, let them rest, unfold, lock, and then lift into position. It's also good to do it that way if you're one person, because you totally can do this on your own. I've done it and you absolutely can, and this is the great way to do it. You can just get it up, rest it, unfold it, and then one at a time put the ends in, especially if you can't lift the whole thing together. Okay, so now it's time for rails, and here's another great tip. Keep your space organized. Sometimes I see people unpack a Marimba One and they take these rail cases and they like take them all out and everything. I really think it's a great idea to keep them all in here, and then just like a deck of cards, you're gonna slide each rail out one at a time. And then when you put them back, same thing. Just kind of start stacking them in cards. You don't ever need to take any of these out of the case. I think it's a great way to keep your space organized and also keep these sleeves really clean. The second thing is you can always tell which spot you're on, which rail you're on by just looking at the writing in here. And just keep an eye on the T is for treble, high end, the B is for bass, low end. And it's always from the player's perspective. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from the player out to the audience. Okay, now I'm gonna ask Matt to come on back in here and help me. Let's get these on there. Okay, this is the caterpillar. I've heard it called the squiggle, the snake, but it's a spacer bar, it's a stabilizer, sway bar, and everybody asks, like, how do you put it in? And really there's only one way to do it, and it has to go on before these 2 inner rails go in. So you want to put this in before you put rails 2 and 3 in. And the way to do it is just these short little parts that point down are just gonna nestle right in. And that's all there is to the sway bar. Then you can now put in rails 2 and 3. I want to point out one other awesome thing, which is there's been a new innovation on the Marimba One rails, and it's so cool because how many of you have lost a felt on your rails before? I know I have, but now you don't have to worry about that at all because these spacers are rubberized, so there's no felt around them, so there's nothing to lose. So that's so cool. So we'll finish it up now. Last step is the bars, and I've got a couple of tips for you on that. First of all, the way you tell the difference, the heavier ones are the naturals, the lighter ones are the chromatic. You have to do the heavier ones first, do the naturals first, and then don't lift them out. Lay the bars down flat and slide them out and roll them. Save your back, really eliminate the lifting, just roll, and then you can put them all on together. So let's do our final step. So check out the Izzy Marimba One Marimba at steveweissmusic.com.